All right, we do have a quorum present to proceed with the meeting. The first item we need to do, though, is we need to vote for the members who are physically in attendance to allow our two joining virtually to participate. So do we have a motion to allow Norris and Jeff to participate virtually in the meeting tonight?
I make a motion that stand.
Second.
All right, motion's been made and seconded. Only those present will vote on this. And so all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, so Norris and Jeff Harris will be joining us virtually for the meeting. The first item is a recommendation to accept the board agenda.
I'll make that motion. Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
All right, the board agenda is set. And we begin with the consent agenda tonight. We need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
All right, motion's been made and seconded, and there is no discussion on that. All those in favor say aye.
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 Approved. Our first item tonight is delegations, and of course, we do not have any delegations that have requested to address the board tonight, so we'll move on to spotlights, celebrations, and of course, we are being hosted by Chester County High School, and we will be spotlighting activities here. And Troy, I'll have you introduce that.
Well, again, as you've already stated, that we appreciate Chester County High School staff and administration to give us a wonderful place to not only enjoy the warmth of the day, but also the good coffee. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to turn it over to who would be the one, Mr. Clay Murley, our principal, to introduce those who are going to be doing their spotlights.
Thank you, and welcome to the high school. It's an honor for us to host this board meeting this month. We had several things that we wanted to spotlight, but we narrowed it down to two, and two of our programs. But before I do that, I just want to shout out to the high school. I know our staff throughout the district. I know this last week has been tough, but I tell you, you got a bunch of ladies and gentlemen that are willing to step up to the plate. I just want to say how proud I am of the staff, not only at my school, but throughout the county, for their willingness just to pitch in and do whatever it took this week to make sure we got our kids taken care of, because it was an all hands on deck situation. So I want to thank them publicly for what they did. With the spotlights tonight, I had two. First, Ms. Krause is not able to be here. She is FFA, and she's doing a wonderful job. So we've got two students that are going to present tonight in honor of the FFA. And then Ms. Emerson with the health science has a new toy that I think some of you have already had a chance to look at, and she wants to tell you a little bit about that. But first, we're going to have the FFA come up. You guys come up here, and and you can introduce yourself when you get up, and then I'll be starting your PowerPoint.
I'm Paul Jones, the FFA president. Thank you for giving us the opportunity tonight to speak to you about our achievements. Our membership rate has grown to be over approximately 80 members. We would like to share with you some of our achievements that we've completed in the past 2 years. We have purchased a greenhouse. It is a 28 by 40 greenhouse that we're looking forward to utilizing for years to come. We have a partnership with TCAT Crump to assist E&T with the installation of this project. It's easily transferable, so it can be moved in the future. We're also proud to report that last summer we had 4 of our FFA members compete in the 4-H state livestock competition. The team consisted of me, Will Kemp, Lucas Tucker, Tanner Fowler, Madison Wolfter, and Colton Hopper. We have had many successful fundraisers throughout the year, but 2 of the most popular were our mums and sweet corn sales. Mum sales this year sold out in record time. FFA is now able to fully operate, planting, growth, and sale independently. Sweet corn seed, plot, and planting were all donated by our partners, Estrie and Cherry Farms and First Farmers Co-op, while the FFA members participated in harvesting and selling.
My name is David Stonewall, and I'm at FFA Spring. Some of the goals we hope to achieve this year included getting state and national convention, adding memberships, competing competing in real-time competitions, hosted an annual Epic Night banquet, and building more partnerships. Alongside building partnerships, our current greenhouse Max Science class serves dual enrollment classes for TK. When Epic Night members were asked to share some of their favorite memories and moments from a variety of activities, the consensus is that no matter what that activity or activity took place, everyone enjoys the learning and organization.
Sydney checked with the making of this speech, but she wasn't able to make it due to illness. So shout out to her for helping me create this, and then Asia got to be lucky enough to get called up. And then we have a video that we showed in Hee Haw this year that was made. Mr. Neil Smith, who's voice.
And on the eighth day, God looked down on his land paradise and said, "Here it is." So God made a point. God said, "I need somebody willing to get up before dawn, milk the cows, work all day in the field, milk the cows again, eat supper, and then go to town and stay past midnight at a meeting of the school board." So God made a farmer. I need somebody with arms strong enough to rustle the hay, get jumping to deliver his own grandchild. Somebody to call the hogs, to tame the cantankerous machinery, and come home hungry. Have to wait months until his wife's done feeding the visiting. Then tell the ladies to be sure to come back real soon and meaning. So God made a farmer. God said, "I need somebody willing to sit up all night with a newborn coat and watch him die. Then dry his eyes and say, maybe next year. I need somebody who can take an accident from a persimmon tree, shoe a horse with a hunk of car tire, who can make harness out of halo, feed sacks, and shoe straps, who planning time and harvest season will finish the 40-hour week Tuesday noon, and then plan from the tractor back, put in another 72 hours. So God made a farm. God had to have somebody willing to ride and rush at double speed to get the hay in ahead of the rain clouds, and yet stop in mid-field and raise to heaven when he sees first smoke on the neighbor's place. So God made a farmer. God said, "I need someone strong enough to clear trees, to heave babies, get chilling enough to tame lambs, wean pigs, tend the pink home woods, who will stop his mold for an hour, to splint the broken leg of a metal one. It had to be somebody who plowed deep and straight and not cut corners. Somebody to seed and weed and feed and breathe and rake and ditch and plow and plant and tie the fleece, strain the milk, and refinish the self-feeding, and finish a hard week's work with a 5-mile drive to church. Somebody who would build a family together with strong bonds shared, would laugh and then sigh, and then reply with smiling eyes. And his son says that he wants to spend his life doing what dad does. So God made a farm.
All those pictures were either by current or past FFA members and some of our farmers around Chester County.
Thank you, guys. We're proud of you. The FFA program has got a bright future. There's a lot of good young ladies and gentlemen in there that care about the future of this county, and we're proud of them. Now we're going to give me just a second to pull up another video. Jessica Emerson is part of our health science, and got a video to, show you some things to do with the table, and she's gonna.
So like Coach Rose said, I'm Jessica Emerson. I'm one of 3 health science teachers here at the high school. We have recently purchased this anatomage table with grant funding. We are thankful to Coach Eads and Mr. Randall Fenimore and Junior McPherson for getting all of that paperwork and all of those tedious things that have to be done to guarantee that funding. It's going to be in my classroom mostly, but it is available for all of our health science classes to use. Y'all were able to see one part of the functionality that it has, looking at the full body and how we can remove the layers of the skin and really be able to see how our body works. This is showing a picture of some histology samples, tissue samples that we looked at in class the other day. My anatomy physiology class is doing muscles right now. So we were able to look at microscopic slides of the 3 types of muscle, as well as where the nerve meets the muscle and tells the muscle what to do. So it gives us a better picture of that. This also has a full section of dissected organs, so we can look at brains, lungs, kidneys, you name it, it's in there, with multiple different views that we can see. It has a full pregnancy section, so you can see mother and how she carries the baby, how it alters her physiology and her body as she goes through that pregnancy. It also shows the baby, so you can see the baby and how it sits in there inside the uterus. And then it also will go even to the blood flow. So it shows the mama's heartbeat, the baby's heartbeat, how it flows through, even through the umbilical cord and reaches the baby's circulation. So they really get a really good view of that. That's another picture of just the fetus itself, so they can look at how the bones are not fully developed in a baby yet and how that helps them as far as the birth process and different things like that. The full body cadavers, which I saw, it has 2 male and 2 female cadavers to be able to see as well. Various cross sections, so we can cut the body in half in different ways, either from the top or from the side, and again get that full layered view of how the body sets up. Because seeing it on paper, seeing it in the book is very different than being able to see it in a 3D version. I showed this over there a minute ago. It has the CT cross section that goes from head to toe, so they can see what it looks like on CT scan as well.
That's cool.
It has case studies in there. My diagnostic medicine class is currently learning about gastrointestinal cancer. It has a case study that they were looking at the other day. So it talks about the type of cancer that they had, and then had CT scans, x-rays, and MRIs so they could see the tumors inside the body and how those would look for them. I have to teach EKG as well to that class. And this shows, as the EKG is reading the heart, it shows how the electrical conduction system of the heart, which part of it is activated at which point. Because they have to learn not only how to do an EKG, but how to read it. So what is the patient's heart rhythm? Is it normal? Is it abnormal? How would we treat that? So it really has quite a bit of functionality that goes along with it. So it gives us better ability to teach disease processes, gives them better views than what we can give them in the book as far as how our bodies are made. Step-by-step instructions on diagnostic procedures. It has a whole list of things there. It shows heart catheterizations, how they put a stent in. Lots of different things are in there. That's the end of it, I think. There was something else. Oh, it had kinesiology. So Ms. Coates teaches rehab careers, so they have to learn physical therapy skills. So it shows the kinesiology and what muscles work to raise our arms, what muscles work to lower arms, things like that. So there's so much more on that than I've even had a chance. We just got it last week. Ms. Ginger and I are going to a professional development in East Tennessee next week. some more hands-on learning with it. So we're looking forward to what we're gonna be able to do. I've been in talks with our biology department already on how they can come in and use it in their classes. So we're excited to not only use it in health science, but share it with lots of different departments.
Thank you.
We've got a lot going on at the high school, and that's just two of our programs, but we're super proud of our teachers and the work they do to make sure our students get a quality education. So that's just a few things we want to spotlight tonight at the high school. Thank you guys for allowing us that opportunity.
Thanks, Coach Murphy.
Thank you, Clyde. Any questions or comments about anything from the board?
The convention, y'all didn't get to go last year because of COVID, correct?
There were no competitions or conventions last year.
Yeah, so, but this year is, we planning on going this year?
As of right now, no. There's not enough information for us to kind of work with right now. So our plan was, we were told that Ms. Crouch was gonna go up there and get some information and gather it and bring it back to us so we can plan. We would like to go, all the officers, and get a feel for it and see how we could do the competitions and then maybe even our senior year work up to national level. But
Okay.
Any others? Jessica's dying for somebody to ask her a question. You can't smell formaldehyde on this dissection.
My kids are gonna miss that.
They're going to miss that. That's one of the classic memories of high school.
I've done one successful brain surgery and one that didn't go well.
There's some hands-on, but there's so much to learn from staying at hands-on that I won't have to order as many dissection supplies, but we will still do some hands-on ones too.
Right. Okay. Anything else? All right. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it very much. The next item we have to look at tonight is the recommendation to accept some positions from the Tennessee School Board Association, that us as a local school board, some resolutions that we want to support, and they'll be going to the legislation this year. I'll let Troy mention some of these, but it would probably be more concise to talk about them, and then if we want to approve them all together, unless someone has one you want to take out of the process. So I'll turn that over to you.
Okay, there were with the TSBA, they had promoted 9 position statements. Of the 9, reflecting on those with Becky and Mark one day a few weeks ago, I had decided that I believe that 7 of these 9 would be positions that we would also agree to and support. Again, it's in your board packet, but just for the sake of those who don't know what's in the board packet, it's a resolution to support the use of benchmark scores for achievement and growth. Another resolution to support an LEA to make retention decisions, because if students are not at what they consider a proficient reading level by 3rd grade, then the state requires that they have either retained to the 3rd grade again, or go through either tutoring after school for their 4th grade year or summer school commitments. We'd rather have it to where the LEA makes a decision. Resolution to support the removal of time limits on our state mandated tests, whether it's TCAP for the lower grades or EOCs for the high school. Resolution to support a waiver from summer school, which that is applicable to those schools who are already extending their school year, not requiring them to have an additional time, which that's what summer school is, some additional online or on time learning for those at-risk kids. Some school districts are considering for all. So if they do consider an extension of the school year for all kids, not having on top of that another summer school requirement. Number 5, supporting the use of incentives to encourage those to consider going into education as a career field. And 6, requesting amendment for an open enrollment notices. That is going into effect this upcoming school year, that each school has to determine. It won't impact us as much, but it will impact our lower grades, since we have our 3 elementaries that are all zoned, that you have to list the number of available seats, and you're giving them up to the last 30 days to make changes in that. The issues that we have is that our teachers that are hired for a certain setting are going to be based on the specific student to teacher ratio. So you've got to be very careful, and with those, in a sense, last minute changes that could happen, it could force, in some cases, teachers to go from one campus to another just because of the sheer number of kids and families want to go there. And then the final one is a resolution from TSBA to use the ACT or the SAT suite of assessments. We use the ACT, but to use those assessments in the place of our EOCs. So.
Are there any questions about any one of those individually, or is there anyone desires to pull out before we vote collectively to send these resolutions to our representation in Nashville? All right. If no one wants to pull one out, then we need a motion to approve these recommendations to accept the TSBA positions as our resolutions, the Chester County Board of Education for the Tennessee General Assembly.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All right, motion's been made and seconded. Is there any other discussion? All right, all those in favor, say aye. Any? All right, we will sign those resolutions and send them on to our Senator Wiley and Representative Haston. All right, the only other item we have tonight is just updates. We have some listed in our packets regarding some capital projects, but also the COVID-19 updates. Anything you want to bring out? Or is there any questions from the board?
Well, I would just start by saying, since we're at the high school, work has already started on the awning on the gym entrance side. That's going to be a significant adjustment. It's going to give that overhead protection for students with a wider range of standing for after school. When do they start, Clay? Monday?
They start to put up the braces this Monday. So
And I don't know, what's the date on completion? They know? I mean, I guess it's pending weather, I guess.
It's gonna be that, we got some concrete work to do. It probably shouldn't be as long as you think, but
But as you see, we have awnings also going to be installed at the junior high, the middle school, East Chester, and North Chester. So.
Any other questions on updates or?
Well, again, as many of you already know, we have been inundated. Clay made a good point, and I do want to echo the same sentiments. It has been a very trying few days for not only Chester County schools, but we had meetings today with other superintendents in West Tennessee, and it's a very difficult time all across West Tennessee. I don't know about the other parts of the state, but I'm assuming that they're in the same shape that we're in, that people are having to wear multiple hats through the day. And I appreciate what Clay says, because the advocacy that we have for our students and to meet their needs instructionally, I'm glad to hear their feedback and their testimony that teachers are stepping up to the plate and, as he did say, but swinging and hitting a home run. I know it's been trying, and we are, it appears. Now, again, this past week, from the 9th through the 15th, our numbers were quite high for our students. It seems to be that they're trending down this week, but yet to be seen, because our school nurses, just like our teachers, even more, and as one principal had shared to many of us, they are turning in their contact tracing list all throughout the weekends, through the nights. They are truly working overtime. But again, we hope that with our staff, that if we take tomorrow off and give ourselves a designated 3-day weekend, that we'll have an opportunity to get approximately half to return to school on Monday. So that's what we're hoping for. Fortunately for us, most of these are the Omicron. It appears to be, because the symptoms are extremely minimal. And I hope and pray that it stays that way. But on the other hand, it is extremely contagious, as what we realized, and probably the most significant outbreak that we've seen in the last 2 years. So very proud of the work that they're doing and the efforts to keep students and staff healthy and safe. But as others are doing or choosing to do the same thing, we're all reaching for opportunities to ensure that we're keeping everybody healthy and providing a quality education, which those two things are challenging when you fight that battle.
On behalf of the board, I also want to echo how much we appreciate the schools, not just the teachers, the custodians, the school bus drivers. It's been a tough week or two, and just know that that extra work and that commitment doesn't go unnoticed. And we thank you as well. Any other businesses to come before the board tonight? If not, I'll remind everyone that our next meeting is scheduled for Thursday, February 17th, and next meeting, we will take it to the Chester County Middle School is where we will be meeting at that time. With that being said, that is the end of our agenda for this meeting, so it is adjourned.